Okay, Nathan, before we talk about new album, first question that brings us way back.
Okay.
Do you still recall the first album that you bought yourself?
Yes. It was... prepare yourself. It was Phil Collins, But Seriously.
And why did you buy this album?
Because I don't even remember when it came out, but it was around the time it came out. I liked the song, Ooh Yes I Wish It... What, Rain Down? Is that Rain Down? I don't know what was called. Ooh Yes I Wish It Would Rain. Yeah, anyway, that song.
And do you still like it?
Sure. Who doesn't like Phil Collins?
No, you were saying prepare. Why did you say that, prepare?
Oh, well, you know, it may have been a shock to some people.
Yeah. Phil Collins, what makes him good?
What makes Phil Collins good? What makes him not good? No, I would say he's just very melodic. Got the 80s drum sound, of course. And I don't know. It's kind of feel-good music, I guess, because it reminds me of when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites. It was just one of the first I ever bought. But also, you know, that was around the time of Appetite for Destruction as well, so I was all over the place.
Yeah. So you bought Phil Collins, but what music did you really grow up to that you really liked?
Well, what I grew up with a lot was what my dad played, and that was a lot of Beach Boys and stuff. I would say predominantly the Beach Boys, and then kind of like 50s and 60s kind of Motown, or you know, things like Bobby Darin or Buddy Holly or whatever.
What Beach Boys period did he play?
Kind of like more like I guess pre-Pet Sounds kind of stuff, as well as some Pet Sounds, but kind of around that time, their early stuff. Because I always remember listening to it when we go to the beach or something like that. So a lot of their surfing kind of music.
And do you like the Beach Boys? So?
Yeah, I still do. Yeah. I probably like their later stuff better now than the stuff when, like, the Surfing Safari and all that.
And later stuff meaning?
Sorry?
Later stuff you
yeah, I mean, later stuff as in kind of like Pet Sounds and past that. I kind of prefer now because the production's great. And I like when they've, how they've, I know purists would probably think it's bad, but how, like on Pet Sounds, they have the mono version and the stereo version, and it's kind of cool to go listen to both versions, and because I guess there was an art back then. Well, there still is an art of mono recording, so I guess stereo makes it easier to hear everything, but I guess there was an art to making mono sound good too.
Yeah. And is it something that you bring to your own music too?
The Beach Boys?
Yeah. No, I mean the way of recording.
No, not necessarily. I mean, I guess never recorded anything in mono, but I guess I mean, well, equating it to the Beach Boys and them kind of eventually mixing it in stereo, it's just a really big sound, and I mean, we try to get that. I wouldn't say we're actively listening to that record in particular. But.
And when you were into the music, when did you start playing an instrument yourself?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was about 5, but then I only played for a few years, and mainly to pacify my parents, and then because they wanted me to. I guess it's good to learn a musical instrument. But then it wasn't really until, I guess, the late 90s, when I was, or mid-late 90s when I was about 16, I picked up the guitar again.
And was there a certain thing that happened why you picked up the guitar?
I remember going around one of my friends' houses, well, at my friend's house, and he had a Fender Stratocaster,
Yeah.
and I'd never picked one up or held one, and it kind of I was really jealous that he had it, and then he had an amp and effects pedals, and I kind of was hooked. And it was about that time I started getting really heavily into kind of a lot of music, a lot of the Britpop stuff, and so I just wanted to get a guitar to effectively learn not to play other people's songs, but learn so I could try and write songs, and but that was the catalyst.
But why did you want to write your own songs?
I just thought it would be fun to kind of try and be able to express myself, or try to make something that's emotional without writing a poem.
Because you were...
Yeah, I mean, I was better at... I was instantly better at writing songs than, I'd be at writing a poem or having a really nice bit of film or a photo or a drawing or whatever.
Were you actually expressing yourself before you picked up the guitar? I mean, writing lyrics or poems or...
Oh, I was trying. I'm pretty sure I was trying, yeah. I wasn't very good at it.
Okay.
I'd probably be better now because I've written a lot of lyrics now.
Yeah. Well, you left Maryville when you were, I think, in 2001?
Yes. Yeah.
And why did you leave?
No, I left, in 1999. I was actually just really surprised you knew Maryville. But no, while I left, I did a study abroad program. And that was, I left Maryville in '99 to go to school.
Yeah.
And that was in Florida. And then that following summer, I did a study abroad to London. And that was only because I'd been to England before, just as a tourist. And I was really into a lot of British music. So, and I really liked England. So that's why I decided to go there again. And did the study abroad and just ended up staying because I met Todd, our guitarist, quite soon after that.
What did you like about the British music back then?
Well, I was really into bands like Oasis and Blur and Radiohead and The Prodigy. I mean, just like, and there was it just seemed like all the really exciting stuff was coming out of Great Britain, whereas like in the US, especially around the mid to late 90s, it just wasn't very exciting to me.
Yeah.
And it hadn't really moved on since grunge. Whereas in all the modern rock stations, all they were playing was stuff that was, off of Pearl Jam's 10 album still, in like 1998.
Yeah.
So so like hearing things like Prodigy's Fat of the Land or OK Computer or especially what I was really into was What's the Story, Morning Glory and stuff. And then through that I got, oddly enough, I kind of went backwards. I got really into the Beatles, which usually is the other way around. Yeah. But I got really, really into the Beatles, and as most people, I guess, do. And then in Pink Floyd, and then as well as the other things like the Stone Roses, and so it was all British, and it was all stuff that I don't know, it just made more sense to me, I guess.
What made more sense?
Just, I think I'm a sucker for melody and a lot of reverb and delay and I don't know, just like kind of singers that have they're not. It's not as rock and roll. Not as like grungy kind of voices and Eddie. Everyone's trying to sound like Eddie Vedder.